Hello.
Hello. Sorry, I did not realize that we were live. That is my bad. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the TF Live coverage of the Week 4 map of ozfortress premiere of this season, which is Season 24, I believe. This game is going to be between two of the sort of middle road teams this season, sort of around the 4th, 5th place in Pineapple Towers and Intoxicated. With me on my co-caster role tonight is a very special guest in the ozfortress admin, Catfish. How you doing, Catfish?
Well, thank you. How are you?
Very good. Operating our cameras tonight will be Thermite, another ozfortress admin. So we've got some good admin strength going tonight. You looking forward to some good TF2, Catfish?
Yeah, it should be a really good game. Like these are two teams that have been playing pretty well from what I can see, and they've also got a bunch of star players, like a lot of players that have a lot of potential to like go off and that kind of thing. So yeah, this should be a good game.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to watch this too. I'm anticipating this being fairly close. I think that there's a clear favorite in my mind, but I think it could definitely get taken pretty close tonight, which I'm very excited for. So how's about we start talking a little bit about these rosters? Do you want to take us down one of these teams, Catfish?
Oh yeah, sure. I'll run down the favorite. So that will be Pineapple Towers. These guys consist right now of TJ and Silvo on Scouts, Tay on Pocket, or he's tagged up as Matt now, Paws on Roma, Ivan on Demo, and their medic is Arnold. So this is a group of players who are all really experienced, a couple of Prem winners in here before, but to me, when I look at this roster, the name really that stands out is TJ. So a lot of viewers of TF Live will know TJ. He's like an Asian scout, and he's been playing at the top of ozfortress now for quite some time in a lot of top 2 teams, despite playing in ozfortress on about 140, 120 ping. And from every game I've seen with these guys, he has been going off. He is a really, really strong scout, and he's a player to watch. But like pretty much everyone on this team. Fun?
It's live on the server, so you have about 90 seconds before they're already up there.
Yeah, so these guys are the favourites. They've got a lot of star players on their team. Briefly going to Intoxicated, these guys played together quite a few years ago. They won Intermediate in Season 16 in 2016, and then they played Prem and got 3rd place, which is a pretty respectable finish in Season 17. But that was almost 3 years ago. So these guys are coming back. Some of these players haven't even played since then. From what I can tell, the players to watch are Morph on Demo, I think, has been playing really well, and I think Jash on Scout has been really pounding from what I can see. But so as Xander said, there is a clear favourite here, and I think it would be Pineapple Towers, but I think Intoxicated have a really good chance and could put up a good fight.
Yeah, I think it'll come down to really like familiarity with some of these maps. Metalworks in particular, which is the first map that we're going to be seeing tonight, hasn't been played very recently in ozfortress, so a lot of these teams have only just been scrimming it for a week or two, so it's going to come down a lot to who's more comfortable on this map, I feel. Although, again, as you say, my favorite is also going to be Pineapple Towers. There's strong players in Arnold, who's a fantastic medic, great caller. They do have, or I think he's tagged up as Matt right now on your screens. He's a very, very strong player, has come 2nd in Prem before with Xenophobia. Paws, again, 1st place, maybe 2nd place. I'm not sure. Very, very strong Roma. Yeah. Very, very strong Roma. And Ivan, I don't know. Ivan is similar to demos like Crud in my mind, where he's like very, very like inconsistent. Like there are games where he'll absolutely pound, and you're like, wow, this guy is like amazing. And then like there are also games where he gets like 5 frags. But I think that it really depends, again, like that his team's performance will sort of depend a little bit on that. He's a very, very strong player. It's just whether he's going to be switched on tonight, I think will really sort of hit that role for his team. But yeah, I guess, that map up, I know you said Morph has been doing quite well. These players haven't been playing recently, because this is, as you said, the reform team on the red team here. Skaz, I know, has been developing his main calling a lot. His team came 2nd, was it, in Inter last season, or did they win
correct,
Inter?
2nd.
Yeah, 2nd. His main calling, in my mind, watching some of his stream and things like that, he really kind of pulled his team through that a little bit with his main calling. He was really sort of clear and focused as to what he wanted, even though sometimes, there was a little bit of madness happening on his team. He really kind of pulled them through. So I reckon Skaz, I assume main calling for this team, he'll be able to do quite a lot of work. And there is, as you said, some older players who haven't been playing, like Morph and Benjay and people like that. But there's also people like Mad and Skaz and Lex who have been playing and who are also putting in some really, really good performances. So I reckon, yeah, it's, again, my favorite's going to be the Pineapple Towers, the Arnold team. But I reckon there's some room for some exciting counterplay here tonight. So I'm pretty excited for some good TF2. Do you have anything to say about this map or anything like that before we sort of see what these guys are doing ready up wise?
Not a huge amount. Well, as you were saying before, like this map, the last time it was played in ozfortress was OWL 11, which was at the start of 2014. So I'm not sure if any players in this server were around then and have played this before in an official. I think this is probably the first time for all of these players playing this map. Maybe one or two have played it, but it would have been a long time ago in an official, in like an official capacity at very least. So
yeah, I imagine Jash played it. Jash would have played it when he was on whatever Jasmine T was back in the day when he was around there. But we do look like we're seeing a ready up pretty soon here. That's the countdown happening right now. So now we're heading into this very first mid. My cam is going to be on Morph. As you said, he's the player to watch. So I'm going to watch Morph as we head into this first mid. Looks like he's getting here pretty much about the same time as Ivan, taking that arrow. Ivan opting to go lower and being mirrored on the other side by Morph there. Just a few stickies being exchanged right now. Ivan hitting some really nice damage onto his demo, forcing him to play back as he's really actually taken down quite low. That's a trade on either side. The Roma comes in and dies, and there's a lot of damage now. Jash trying to do a lot of work going really far forward, as is Lex, but his gets taken out really, really quickly. Nice pipe from Morph, who was taken down very low to kill that gamer forwarding, and they just look like, they have to turn and run from this fight here. And it looks like Benjay may get taken out here as these soldiers and scouts are playing really, really aggressive, really trying to chase down this medic, but there's some spawns up now. Skaz looks like he's going to survive. And this is an even Uber situation, and they haven't even started capping the midpoint just yet, Catfish.
That was a good mid, well played from Pineapple Towers there. A lot of aggression. But yeah, both meds do survive, so despite the caps, it's going to be an even Uber situation. I'm not sure. Oh, it's looking at hold. Yeah, they're opting to hold second despite running all the way out to last. So
yeah, they managed to buy enough time to get all their spawners there. So this is a second hold. Looks like a fairly standard second hold. That Roma sort of looking down the sort of highway there. Side, I don't know what that's called. Side alley. You never know.
Yeah,
I make up my calls when I cast like this.
Big bomb in here from Paws onto the man. Skaz does not use yet.
He's taken so low.
Yeah, from Skaz.
Amazing.
He was on about, I think, 11 health at one point there. Huge serve.
Yeah, long balled play from Skaz there. That's really impressive to stay alive as one of the best roamers in Prem jumps here.
That is a scary
we should see hopefully a counter sack coming in
looks like
from the red side. He's trying to get a buff up and just sort of spamming here. I think they took a little bit too long there. Couldn't really get in, and it's just kind of reset there. Paws opting not to do any sort of off-class shenanigans.
TJ could get caught here. Yeah, he does. Silver's going in too. Gets the trade. I think this is just... Paws is going for... Oh, no, that's Tay the Pocket going for another bomb, but he gets immediately cleaned up. Doesn't get much there. Not even damaging Skaz.
Yeah, his team did come really far forward through that alley side on the other side to see what they could do. That's Lex coming in for the counter trade while they're both sort of one down. That's actually a very late counter trade, and these players are going to come up a little earlier on the side of blue team. This might be a good situation for them to force something, and it looks like they are. They're trying to get this in through the other side. Nice stickies from Ivan as they sort of zone out those scouts, and they're forcing their medic to play really far back on that shutter, and this damage is being pretty much unanswered right now.
Really low
that scout waiting for that arrow. Waiting for the arrow to the point where the health pack actually spawns anyway.
That's pretty good. That's Tay. Tay goes down, but they get the 2 players picks from that. I believe that's the pocket scout in that. You see a trade coming in on the point.
Yeah, and this trade does seem to be going the side of... actually, no, there's 2 frags going the other way. The demo in Morph is taken quite low, has to stand there waiting for an arrow. Lex gets traded out by TJ. Some nice shots from him coming in. Soldiers jumping really far forward. 2 players caught behind there. They lose their lives for it. Skaz is forced to run right back away. Arnold taken down pretty low health. But this cap is going the way...
coming in now for Pineapple Towers.
Yeah, cap on the way of Pineapple Towers. And this has actually turned itself into a pretty sizable ad as Skaz was forced to back away without a couple of players there. We see a soldier in all the way. They're running forward while these players are still 2 down. Jash spawning up on the heavy, but he's getting focused really hard. Benjay doing a lot of stuff. Yeah, the 2 spawns coming in right now, but this spam is still going through. That's a lot of damage. 2 picks for them right away. Benjay losing his life as well. Mad trying to do this Roma trade here, but that soldier is jumping around. Paws trying to do what he can there. Does a lot of damage as he runs down, but that is the first cap with only the Roma round. Yeah, really comfortably played by them. I feel that yeah, that push, that aggression was really well coordinated from that team, and it was just not answered with coordination on the side of red team. Do you want to take us through this next mid though, Catfish?
Yeah, sure. I'm on Ivan's cam right now. He opts to go height instead of lower like he did last mid. Good damage already on the morph. Just showing stickies right now, not much happening. Well, bomb in from the... Oh, double soldier bomb. Aggro from the side of Intoxicated. But they just get cleaned up, not a lot. Ivan goes down though, pretty late. Oh, but more frags coming in from the side of... So despite losing Ivan, more frags coming in from the side of Pineapple Towers, and this looks to be another clean mid. They lose Skaz. Arnold's very low, he may go down here, but looking like, no, that's a clean wipe. Arnold survives, great mid. Really well played by Pineapple Towers right there.
That was so impressive on the side of Pineapple Towers. Those 2 soldiers bombed in. None of them got any damage onto Arnold. The only time that Arnold was in danger was when he was actually fighting someone behind.
And Arnold went down pretty low there. He went down to, I think, about 40 or something. But
he did win the fight though with a really nice arrow, and his team just collapsed so well. Those 2 soldiers, Paws and Tay, just coming in with some really well coordinated aggression and just absolutely annihilating Skaz, and that has turned into a full ad push through Arnold's wiggliness and some really coordinated soldier play for this full ad.
They're waiting for their players to come in now, and they've just arrived here, so I presume they're going to see push any second now. This is going to be a rough push to hold from the side of Intoxicated.
You do see them trying though, as there is this level 3 and the Brass Beast heavy there. The Uber gets popped in. They're not quite sure who to focus. The call on the gun hasn't been made, and this gun is still alive. That's Roma down. Gun only just going down.
But they're still getting all the frags they need to.
Yeah, so nice.
That was great
nice coordinated aggression.
They focus heavy, immediately then switch to the sentry, and it goes down like extremely quickly, and then they just clean up.
Yeah, I was worried that they weren't focusing that sentry, but it turns out they were just like all focus firing one thing at a time and just using that Uber to gain ground, which is exactly what you want from an Uber here. As we do head into our next mid number 3 for this map, we do see the top rollout from Morph here as he's successfully avoiding the stickies from Ivan, which has been zoning him out so fast. But his medic has opted to go lower without him, and he's actually taken down quite low. Has to wait for this arrow, but the soldier jumping in from Matt there, going in behind. He looks like he's going to take out Skaz. No, Skaz hits a thick arrow and takes him down from behind. And this is actually a mid win on the side of red team, as Arnold, I think, turned tail a long time ago. He read that really well and is just out with TJ building that Uber back up to even. But that was a really interesting mid. Did you catch much of what happened on the red side there, Catfish?
Yeah, that was a strange mid. It was Morph, and there was some kind of lack of communication between Morph and his medic. Like Morph walked up the mid and was on really low health for such a long time, but they just couldn't. And then you'd think that would lead to a mid win for Pineapple Towers, but they just couldn't capitalize on the fact that the demo was sitting there alone on low health. Like no one really jumped him, no one pressured him. It was, so both teams kind of misplayed that mid, but I feel somehow Intoxicated came out with the win there.
Yeah, to me it looked a little unfortunate on the side of blue team rather, as the this trade is actually coming out onto second here. There is a sniper on the side of blue team, so they are taking this aggressive trade.
For blue team, but not by a lot.
Not by a lot. They're collapsing onto them really hard. Skaz getting taken down, and he takes down the demo as well. TJ loses his life, and these 2 soldiers are jumping in, trying to collapse on Arnold here. But Arnold is so wiggly, just one low health scout running at him in the end, and it's just Benjay up, as he does look like he's trying to go for something here, as he's trying to hide in this gremlin location in alley there. Does wait for someone to pass. He could have got that frag as he was low. Is he just going to try to get a back up? He's choosing to stand directly on a sticky there. That was really lucky that it didn't get dead. He's opting for this back cap. This is actually a really good play. People have to come back to fight that just because of that cap time.
Have to back off now, He won't be able to sit on that mid cap, and they're going to hold mid. That was was really well played by Benjay. Really making like the best of a really bad situation right there. You know, pretty much a 1v6.
That was a smart play. Does force his team gives his team time to hold mid. But that being said, they are actually bullied out right away, and the medic and the roamer both lose their lives in very, very quick succession. So this is somehow still turning into what's looking like Pineapple Towers round, even though they still have a sniper. I believe that Silverdox hasn't been able to change off sniper since this last hold, so they're going to see if they can coast to coast it with a sniper, and that is already one pick for them.
Down. I'm not sure if the sniper's been spotted. I mean, I presume he has now on the roamer, but before then, I'm not sure if the sniper didn't take a shot. Like, he hasn't really had much say since he spawned. But yeah, I guess we'll see what he can do now. I'm not sure if, I mean, they're just going to have to push now. They got full out here, so we'll see what Silver and Sniper can do. But again, this is going to be another tricky hold for Intoxicated.
Yeah, and they push it in really aggressive through that right side. Jash, the heavy, trying to do his best on that brass beast yet again. Point is being played already, and these soldiers are forcing everyone to on the red team to play everywhere but the point. Nice headshot coming in from Silverdox there, as he does eventually make an impact right at the very end there, and does clean up those last two players with some nice shots, leading his team into another 3-0 third round on the board for them. What does red team need to change, do you reckon, on these mids? What do they need to make happen in order for them to claw this game back, Catfish?
Oh, it's tricky. I feel like they're getting out the end at a lot of opportunities here, but I feel like if they can play a bit more coordinated together, maybe sync their players up a bit more, I feel like they can have more impact. But at the moment, it feels like they're kind of just losing DM fights, to me at least.
Yeah, a lot of it seems to be all that roamer.
Immediately picks up, and the roamer kills himself too. This is not good. Not a good start for Intoxicated. Looks like they're going really aggro on the medic. Morph is in really deep, really low though. He has to back off.
Arnold has like barely taken any damage there. He took about 50 damage at the end there. I'm pretty sure Arnold's going positive right now. I reckon he's got 2 frags and died once. He's doing really, really well. Yeah, so this is, you know, it was a tale of two mids there, really. It was kind of just like the 2 soldiers from red team jumped in and got absolutely nothing done. Mad jumping in and fragging himself.
Yeah, Paws picking up the medic immediately as well.
Then Paws just coming in and getting the frag that he needed to. It's just kind of complete opposite of what's happening there. But we do have... is this another last hold? Yeah, they're just opting to hold last here, as we do have an engineer getting set up here. All that kind of stuff. Onto this last point. They look like they're ready to fight off yet another full advantage push into last.
Here. They've opted to not have a heavy, and instead they're just trying to grind with the scout. They're on 75 now, but the Ubers have just come in, so it looks like they're not going to get it.
With how slow these guys have been playing their Ubers, I think that's a smart play that they can possibly try to grind it up, but these frags are coming in way too quickly, and it doesn't look like anyone's being able to do anything there. Yeah, that was a good try. That was, I think, the right decision to try to grind that up, but they were just that little bit too quick, because they have played their Ubers super slow before, and I think that was smart of them to try to counter by just saying, hey, I reckon we can get this if they play it slow again. But yeah, it didn't pay off for them in the end, and that is now 4-0 on the board. This is really dominant. I'm watching Ivan on this mid again, because what he's been doing really well is he's been zoning his other demo out with some really, really nice stickies, and he's doing it right again, as he's just forcing him right back. He can't walk forward without taking any damage, and these soldiers are just forcing it too. The ground is all on the side of blue team, and their demo is forced way back into Valley, and that's 2 frags for them. Nice arrow from Skaz onto Benjay to keep him into this fight, and the scouts are just now trying to take some ground. Arnold is so wiggly. This is ridiculous. He is right in the face of that scout and only took 50 damage. Absolutely ridiculous.
I feel like that mid was all Ivan. I think you were dead on. Like, he did so much damage there to so many different players, just preventing the soldiers from bombing. Like, they tried to bomb after he tagged them down to about 100, and they just immediately got denied because they just didn't have enough health. Like, that was huge damage mid from Ivan right there. Much
yeah, and I think he's been doing that quite a lot. Like, I've been watching him on these last few mids. He's zoning Morph really hard. Morph can't get forward to deal enough damage. The one mid where he didn't hit a lot of damage on Morph is the mid that the red team won. Is the mid that Intox won. Oh no, and that's a taunt coming out from Ivan as Lex loses his life. Farmed, as you would say. And this Pootis and Gun are now in exactly the right spot. The soldier from Matt is going to need a flash to get saved here at the very end, but the gun goes down really quickly. Quackly, indeed. But this, Ivan is actually taken down really low, but people just don't care about that. Arnold's coming forward to fight on the point. Just some taunts from him, and he does still manage to stay alive.
I feel like that last push
the,
actually could have gone their way. Like, but I feel like the one mistake they made on the side of Intoxicated was they just put they just had the heavy and the sentry right next to each other. So it meant they could Uber in from the right, like the same side, and just focus one and then immediately switch to the other. And it was no issue for them at all. They could get both with the Uber and still have a tiny bit of the Uber like left over. But like, I feel like Intoxicated, despite having pulled us out, they still did a pretty good job of like holding that push off. Like the health wasn't great at the end of it. Like I feel like it was just a miss by having that heavy and sentry on the same side, pretty much right next to each other. But yeah, that was a very convincing 5-0 win right there.
Definitely. Very quick too. I'm pretty sure that was about, I don't know, less than 15 minutes, I'd say. That's very quick. But yeah, I mean, I can see what they were going for, and they did skybox that soldier in Tay there. But yeah, it just didn't play off. They all took the same damage, and it kind of, yeah, they all got farmed. Arnold even actually dying 0 times.
Wow,
looking at the logs there. 2 frags, 0 deaths.
Right?
Yeah, I thought he did die once, but he mustn't have. That's a perfect game for Arnold, which is very impressive. Talking of logs, do you have your logs up in front of you?
I do, yeah, and
awesome.
It's dominated completely by all the players of Pineapple Towers. Like Ivan, nearly 400 DPM. TJ, the same DPM, nearly 400. 19 for 4 for TJ. Big scout performance. Only 1 damage off Ivan's total. Yeah, like no one had a bad game on the side of Pineapple Towers. They all played really well. This was a very, very convincing win.
Yeah, it's always hard to look at logs in a 5-0 situation because they will always be one-sided because it obviously was a 5-0. But these numbers, as you say, are very impressive. Ivan 11 for 2, TJ, as you said, 19 for 4. I don't believe anyone went negative, and just the performance from Arnold there. Like there were so many times where I would kind of single him out as the player to watch, where he would get forwarded by 3 or 4 people, and he would take like maybe 60 damage.
Yeah. I saw so many times on my HUD, like I wasn't watching him, but I could see like Arnold down to like maybe 30 health, 40 health. It happened so many times, but I could just never get that frag onto him. Yeah, his ability to survive was just another factor that helped Pineapple Towers in this convincing win.
Yeah, because often when, if you're in a 5-0 situation, you'll say sack loads of people, just try to get some frags, just try to break it any way you can. And often that'll just be like, let's just frag their med. He's not died yet. We need to frag their med.
Yeah, I think it was, I can't remember which mid it was, but I think it was one of, I think it might have been the last mid actually, where it was the mid where Skaz immediately went down to a great pause bomb, and like Intoxicated correctly realized, okay, we need to try to get this medic, right? To just make sure they don't have complete ad and they're not going to roll us in the round. And they all sacked for the med. I think 3 or 4 players went for the medic, but they just didn't get him. And Arnold just managed to survive all players bombing him. All players got cleaned up, and it was just another stop of a round. But I think we're about to go live here on the process.
Yeah, so this is, I think, a little bit of a trick. They tricked us a little bit there. But yes, this is our second map process here. I think there's only 5 players on one team. They're just sort of trying to sort out their last gamer. Looks like it is Tay, who's timed or something. I'm not sure. I'm sure he's back on his way back. But yeah, this is the second map. So if I was saying a little bit in the pre-game before how experience with the map may come into play. Turns out it was a massive 15-minute 5-0 anyway. What do you reckon's going to happen in this map? Any changes with this one, Catfish, or do you reckon it's still pretty strong the other way?
I think I can't see any way that Intoxicated win this one. I hope they can put up a bit more of a fight, but I feel like with TJ and Ivan playing this well, like I feel like this is going to be a 5-0. But I think we're live now.
Yeah, we do indeed start this second map really, really quickly. There's not much downtime here, and we do want to head into our first middle. My cam is probably going to be... let's do the Ivan cam. Actually, on Ivan cam, Morph is so much faster than Ivan here. Ivan is sort of sitting in choke, waiting for that arrow. Yeah, and they are playing really, really aggressive on the right side, is red team there. Soldier's trying to jump in.
Ivan goes down, but gets afraid.
Yeah, I just realized they've changed some classes up a little bit, as the Soldier is now Sicko mode and the Scout is now Matt. So I believe that hasn't really come into effect. Arnold taking a little more damage than he usually would. Skaz is left by himself on 20 health. These players are going to chase really hard. He could have hidden a bit longer maybe, but yeah. There you go. That's a 17-second respawn. I would have just kill bound in that situation. There, you're just adding...
I feel like that mid started out well, like, for Intoxicated. Like, you're right, like, you were correct that Morph got there really quick, way faster than Ivan, and had Ivan pinned down pretty well. Like, Ivan got really low there, but yeah, they just they just can't capitalize on these small advantages. Like they're just getting outplayed.
Yeah, it felt like they knew what to do, but they were all just bunched together, and that one soldier bomb landed 2 rockets and took everyone down quite low and forced them to scatter. But this Uber is coming into last. The gun finally falling. Benjay on Pyro doing a valiant effort there in right-clicking, but that's not enough.
It's even played.
Points being played, actually. There's so much cap time on the point, forcing everyone to jump there. Ivan is actually reloading rather than fragging people, and it is TJ that is fragging everyone. Arnold's getting another frag there. I think is he 2 frags? No, it was Skaz who got a frag on that mid. I think he's 1 frag now. So he's on his way to another perfect game for 1-0 there, and that is indeed 1-0 on the scoreboard too.
Sorry, failing off. I feel like that was a winnable hold right there, but I feel like it just came down to the point. Like there was too much cap time, and I feel like it was just played too well by Pineapple Towers, knowing that it was so close to being capped, that they had to stand on it. But Morky on mid really fast again, playing the same spot. Hasn't quite done the damage they dealt last mid.
He's doing well, I feel. He's like, he's making a lot of space for his soldiers, and he's like taking right onto the enemy pack. Yeah, Lex jumping in, finishing off Arnold's dream of that perfect game. Lex does aim those rockets. TJ and Boars are both still in, fragging really hard. Matt doing his best to stay alive. He doesn't manage to win that.
More than Skaz now.
Yeah, they look like they're actually gonna. Ivan and TJ look like they're actually gonna fight this. Yeah. Oh,
Skaz
Ivan loses that duel, but TJ is.
More good pipe onto TJ.
Yeah, they do win that mid, and their spawners are coming in a little bit sooner. But looks like the spawners from the other team are going to be up in time before they can actually cap this. So it's going to be interesting to see whether blue team opt to refight this or just choose to give this to them, because Skaz does have full Uber. They're trying to walk this Uber forward a little bit, but there's that spam in choke is sort of shutting them down a little bit. But no, they do get this midpoint, and this is that actually used from Skaz. That was a bit interesting. Sicko mode or Silverdox or whatever his name is does get he doesn't even die. He was being forwarded by 2 scouts and doesn't die, and he's again in lobby not dying. And Matt comes forward and
sets up for a frag.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. And the Roma losing his life to TJ on the side, and that's Lex trying to go for something here, but getting absolutely caught out by Matt. And the scout crater, that was a huge skybox there. Tay getting absolutely crushed there. They do choose to back this off and see if they can grind it up, hoping maybe to get it a little bit closer to even before they lose this midpoint, as this is now 100% onto Arnold Catfish.
I didn't see what happened there, but that, like, I'm not sure if they got forced by a Roma bomb or something like that, but that Uber was way too early. But we've got an Uber onto mid from the side of Pineapple Towers, really aggro.
Big damage from Ivan, and it looks like the the medic in Skaz is going to get caught out there too. Ivan, this sniper, Benjay is on sniper. There's synced stickies into him there.
It's all on Lex, and there he goes. That's all.
Yeah,
only
there
losing
you go.
the sniper on the side of Pineapple Towers.
I imagine he kind of wanted to die anyway on the sniper.
Scout. They're being spawn camped. I don't know if they realise, which they do.
Yeah, they do see this medic demo there. They're not doing anything there, but they're capping this fairly quickly, which is fairly nice. They do just manage to back spawn out of that. This is, again, a pretty sizable ad heading in towards last. Do see that Putus coming up and that Pyro coming up again. Opting not to go for this gun, it looks like this time. I don't know if they think it's too late to set it up. I reckon it could have got to level 2 here. They're opting for the Brass Beast Putus to try to hold this off. But this Uber is now not actually being committed, as I do see that Silverdox has actually come up on Sniper again. I'm not sure the thinking behind that.
We're coming just from door 3 now. They're focusing the Heavy down with the Uber. Heavy wasn't buffed for some reason. That's a bit questionable right there. But he saves life, takes the entire Uber.
Yeah, that's a questionable play. This scout is trying to do his best in TJ as he's trying to frag people here, but they have sniper. I don't know if this is just Silverdox being Silverdox and perma-sniping, or like what the plan is, but he looks like he's going to get caught out at some point. He's really far forward, but the scouts are coming behind them. They could just play this point. This is, oh my goodness.
That is such a demoralizing way to lose around.
You hate to see it.
One of the only last pushes they've won this whole game, and they get back up to 2 players. That's got to hurt for Intoxicated.
Yeah, that's really rough. I feel bad for that. They just leaked behind. I did see 2 players just like leak through that, and I was like, oh dear, this is happening. But we do head into this third mid. Why don't you take us through this third mid, Catfish?
Really aggro bomb by Silver, taking both packs, even through his own demo. But both Romans running behind, I think, trying to fight. I think this is going to be, Silver picks up the Roman on the frag. It's our first frag on the mid. an aggro bomb into the pocket, I believe, Intoxicated, but looks like he hasn't done much there. Pause does go down, so even players, both teams are soldier down. But the health isn't really great on... Oh, no, never mind. They got 2 frags for Intoxicated. I was about to say the health not great on Pineapple Towers, but apparently not.
Benjay coming in with the hero frag and managing to frag Arnold at the end there. Looks like he may indeed take out Ivan.
Oh, great part from Ivan.
Oh my god, Ivan's on the Habib juice tonight. He's hitting a lot of pipes.
He has toggled.
Yeah, there we go. And this is it's refightable from Red Team if they want to go in a little quickly while Arnold is still not met up with his team. But they choose just to sit back here a little bit and just let Arnold come back in here. They've not built very well at all on this, but I mean, they realize that it's just going to be, you know, full Uberad on the side of Red Team, so they're just going to, like, let them have it, I feel. Although, you never know. Arnold is actually being very far forward here, and the soldier jump is coming in. TJ losing his life there. The Uber is forced in choke, though, by Pause. Some nice jumps there by him to force that Uber. Red Team, oh no, Ivan... and Arnold both losing their life there.
Tay on the second already. Oh, he's gonna get it.
Oh my god, he gets it, and he's running straight to last. No spawns in time, and he's going to be very low health, committing.
He's fighting this. Oh, and he wins it.
Oh dear.
That is not. This is not a good time to be an Intoxicated player.
No, this is hurting me inside a little bit. All of these just like silly leak plays, these like pug moments, as we do see is that the 3rd round or the 4th round? 3rd round on the board.
3rd, yeah, we're going 4th, yeah. I mean, bright side for Intoxicated, they're definitely playing a lot better, I feel, than they did on Metalworks. Like, they're getting into these favourable positions, they're just getting backcapped. But like, on Metalworks, they weren't even getting into these positions. But on this mid, we've already got played down for Intoxicated. And then another, and now 3rd. This is just looking like another dominating mid. We'll see if Scaz can survive, though. He's already really far out, kind of predicting this. He's already on his last. So it looks like he'll get out at the very least. So silver lining for Intoxicated, I guess.
Yeah, Matt does look like he really wants to chase this, but he has spawners now. Yeah, he's just going to hit a couple of pistols just to go, haha, I was here, and then run away.
Yeah, he wasn't healing though, so this is about 20-30% ad. And they've used straight in, yeah. They know that he doesn't have it. They've got a sniper still, Silvo and sniper.
Yeah, he's sniped to mid there, so I reckon that's just a perma snipe.
Oh, that point is so fucked out.
2 shots actually coming in from him there, which actually does seem to take them through that round. I reckon him hitting those shots on that last did it, because there was some really big damage on that point as those soldiers did jump in. Looks like, we're seeing snipers to mid on both teams here. They're feeling that this is a bit of a foregone conclusion, I reckon. Yeah. And it's hard to sort of not
I mean, if you're
think
in the
that, I feel.
Yeah, you kind of feel a bit helpless here. Like, Pineapple Towers are playing so well right now. Like, this is really impressive performance by them.
Yeah, is this team 3rd at the moment?
Yeah, this is 3rd, yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe tied for 3rd or 4th. But I think these guys are the 3rd seeded team. I think everyone expects these guys to place 3rd this season.
Yeah, these guys are very strong. Sicko Mode actually taking out his sniper counterpart there and hitting a nice shot onto Lex and surviving there, hitting a body shot onto that Pause, being very far forward, making sure that they can't get back in through that choke. Scouts just botting. They see that the medic is separated from their demo and they're capitalizing on it, although
Tay opting not to go for the medic instead the demo. Interesting choice. I don't know if I would agree with that.
Just crunching down on some pipes there for his trouble, losing his life there. We do see mid actually being capped. This is a crits Krieg coming out from Arnold, but they get nothing else bar the force there. They do just manage to get that force, but they're going to build this crits ad up really, really quickly as they hope to thread in just a little bit more of that Habib juice and see if that Crits Krieg can become effective on Arnold here. They do lose their sniper. I'm not going to be surprised if he just spawns up on sniper again. I think he's like
very likely
kind of throwing. I don't know. Even though they are 4-0, it's pretty BM to perma snipe in a situation like this. Yep, he comes up sniper again. I mean, it's working. He's hitting some shots, but at the same time, it's like not very fun to watch or to play. This crits is coming up right now as they do start to move through this. Oh, and that
nice
sniper.
Shot right there on the
crits is comes through. Forced through, actually.
Oh, they've spotted it. It looks like it's not going to get anything. They get one
two flash TJ there, and they do force the Uber. Gun goes down too, but they have forced the Uber really, really close to them. I wouldn't be surprised if more players go down here, but there's only one frag onto the sniper, and that's it. And Benjay is trying to push his luck a little bit in lobby there, but nothing really is coming of it. This is really interesting to see. They're just going to cycle their crits ad one more time.
I felt like just then, like, I feel like Skaz and the rest of his combo, like they did the right thing in terms of they've run away from the crits just to try to avoid dying to it because they knew the other team had the ad, but then that put them in this terrible position where they tried to use their Uber ad as soon as they got it, and they were so far away that they had to cover so much ground to get there, and it just meant that the Uber wasn't effective enough to get anything done. And it's just put them in this bad spot of now they're at 50-40% crits to sad. And looks like Ivan's
coming in again, but there's
right
this
now.
trap actually shutting him out. He can't really get
and
in.
The pyro,
and the pyro is reflecting him there. He can't do anything. And that's one, actually 2 picks through his crits there. Yeah, there you go. Some nice plays here. And the point is actually being played already by Matt. He's doing so much damage, focusing everyone onto that point, and that is the 5th round on the board in what is I mean, a little bit of BM at the end, I feel, but like 2 fairly convincing 5-0s there, Catfish.
I think Skaz died there on the last, like, I think 97% or something like that. Like, he was so close to getting it. That was really unlucky. But well played from Pineapple Towers with that crit screen. It's a typical spot to do well from, but they played it really well, I think.
Yeah, it was very convincing. I'm not going to say anything else at that. We can have a quick look through logs. It's actually Tay top damaging. Sorry, no, I haven't clicked my damage button. Let me see that again. Ivan still top damaging there. TJ actually having a really great game as well. 15 for 3. Again, only just below Ivan's damage, and Ivan's damage was boosted by Crits Krieg, so he's a big noob. But yeah, we do see a much better performance coming out of Morph there. Going 7 for 7 and dealing a little bit more damage. I know it's probably a little bit more familiarity with the map coming into play, just a little bit there. But yeah, nothing really too exciting to say in these stats other than that.
I feel like despite the fact that it was a similar duration, like both were I think around 12 minutes long, I do feel like Intoxicated probably did play better on this map than on Metalworks. Like, as I said before, there were a lot of situations where they did like win a trade or a fight or whatever and got themselves into a pretty good spot, but then they just lost to something stupid like a back cap or a bomber or whatever, like something like that. Like, and like if they can iron out these mistakes, I think that would have been a much closer map. Maybe not hugely closer, but a bit closer. I feel like they would have put up more of a fight. Definitely would have been an 11-minute 5-0.
Yeah, I agree. It could definitely have been a little bit closer. Like, I do feel that there is the talent on the other team to just bring it a little bit more to this team. But when you sort of get up around this level, to be honest, half of it was just DM. They were getting out DM'd. Yeah. There was very little strategy happening to like most of this stuff. Like, their Ubers were well coordinated and they did the right thing through all of that, did Pineapple Towers, but you know, to the extent there, they can just like go into these mids and say, hey, I'm going to DM everything, and they just win. Like Metalworks, Ivan was just zoning out
and with Ivan hitting
hard.
Shots on demo, like making space for players like TJ to just frag out of his mind. Like, you feel a bit helpless when you're intoxicated.
Yeah, I mean, you can see some of them getting intoxicated to help shake the memories of this map, can't you? Hey.
Definitely. Yeah.
But yeah, so that is I think that's all that we're gonna have for you tonight. I don't think we'll have any interviews or anything like that. It's not really worth it after such a quick 5-0. I don't think there's enough sort of stuff to talk about in an interview situation, unfortunately. But yeah, that is not the closest game, but it is nice to be back casting some TF2. I'm anticipating being back again much more regularly on TF Live, seeing if we can get a few more games casted this season. I know we did a couple at the start, and then we kind of life has got in the way. We're going to try to get back and do a little bit more casting of some Premier ozfortress action in the next couple of weeks. So I'm excited to get some of the higher end games happening soon, because there's going to be some good ones coming up between our first and second place teams right now, definitely. Which I'm very excited to see.
That's looking like a really close race between those two teams. Those will be some amazing games.
Yeah, I'm very excited about those. We'll hopefully be back in the next couple of weeks with some of those exciting games. But yeah, it's shaping up to be a really good season in terms of the contention for the top, I should say. It's one of the closest it's been recently, which is always great for competition. Do you have anything to add to this, Catfish?
Just echoing your point, I feel like the race for number one is like really close this season. And I think this is the first season in quite a while where I feel like even the teams that aren't in the top two, I feel like still have a chance. Like this Pineapple Towers team, as I said, was seeded third, but I feel like they're actually playing the top two teams relatively closely. Like they're not getting rolled or anything like that. Like it's definitely shaping up to be a really close Prem season, and probably the closest we've had in quite a while.
Yeah, I'm definitely keen to tune into some of this stuff, and in fact that the top two teams have like the exact same amount of points, and the top three are all like within 5 points of each other right now, which is sorry, even the top four are within about 5 points of each other. It's going to be very exciting and close this season as my team races for last place. But yeah, there you go. I'm really happy with tonight's game. It's really great to be back with some ozfortress action. Do you have any shout outs before we finish this up, Catfish?
Oh yeah, shout out to TF Live for having me, despite the fact I don't know anything about the game. Shout out to Xander, my co-caster. Thanks for casting with me. Shout out to Thermite for production. Shout out to Jen. Shout out to Wigan. Shout out to Dork. Shout out to just all of ozfortress. You're pretty good.
Awesome. Shout out to you, Catfish. Thank you for stepping in last minute and filling in the hole in my heart that was left by Fozzum's internet dying. Best of luck, Fozzum, getting your internet fixed. Shout out to Thermite for running production here tonight. Amazing job as always. Thank you so much. Sorry, I wasn't looking at the channel when you counted down to live, so it was a little messy. That's my bad. But yeah, and shout out to Xeno Discord and anyone else who cares about me. Thank you. Awesome. We'll be back hopefully next week with some more exciting TF2 action from the ozfortress scene. In the meantime, sleep well, guys. I'll see you all in the next couple of weeks. Good night.